सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. Today we have to begin the 15th shloka, page 9. So we finished yesterday with Avyabhicharita Sadhya Samanadikaranyam Vyaptihi, the definition of Vyapti, which is given in the shloka as Avinabhava Sambandhaha Vyaptihi Ityavadharyate. Then whenever we define something, we give some definition, immediately we have to apply it in a particular case. Otherwise we cannot verify. Verification of the definition should be there. So he says Ukta Lakshanam Lakshye Sangamayati. We have given the definition of Vyapti. Now as we mentioned yesterday, Vyapti is for what? Because we have been speaking of Vyapti between two padarthas, Hetu and Sadhya. Now suppose we will be reading for hours together about Vyapti. Somebody puts a question, Vyapti is for what? Because we have been reading Hetu Sadhyoho Vyapti. Where will you exactly apply the definition of Vyapti? Hetu Sadhyoho Vyapti means it's a two-way relation. So where exactly is Vyapti to be construed? So Sadhya Vyaptiman Hetuhu. Vyapti is always applied, or Vyapti is always construed. It is applied in the Hetu. It is the Hetu that possesses the Vyapti of the Sadhya. So that is why we call the Hetu as Vyapya Padartha, means Vyapti Vishishtaha. That which possesses the Vyapti is called Vyapya. Vyapyaha means Vyaptyashrayaha. That which is the substratum of Vyapti. So the Hetu, you have to apply this definition of Vyapti in the case of the Hetu. So the Hetu is possessed of the Vyapti with the Sadhya. So that is what he says, Ukta Lakshanam Lakshye Sangamayati Dhume Vanyavinabhava Sambandhohi Avadharyate. Where do you fit in the definition of Vyapti? In the Hetu. Sadhya Vyaptiman Hetuhu. It is you should never say Hetu Sadhyoho Vyaptihi means you must be at the back of your mind, you must have that it is the Hetu which possesses the Vyapti with the Sadhya. Never at any point of time you can say that Sadhya possesses the Vyapti with the Hetu. Because it is the Hetu which is the Ashraya for Vyapti. Because see, it is like murdering the Nayayika. Because Vyaptihi, Vyaptyashrayaha, Vyapya Padarthaha. So it is the Hetu which possesses the Vyapti with the Sadhya. So he says, Dhume Vanyavinabhava Sambandhaha Hi Avadharyate Nishchiyate Vyabhichara Bhava Drishtehe Sahacharasya Darshanat. Now the first line speaks of that which possesses the Vyapti with the Sadhya, that is the Hetu. And the second line gives you what is the means of comprehending that Vyapti. How do you come to the conclusion? How do you know? How do you arrive at the conclusion that the smoke is invariably related to fire? Now how have you ascertained this invariable relation of smoke to fire? For that, what is the means? Vyaptigraha upayaha kaha. What is the means of comprehending such an invariable relation? In one instance he says, and you have to extend this line of application in all cases of Vyapti. So he says, Vyabhichara bhava drishtehe. That is, there should not be any lack of correspondence between the Hetu and the Sadhya. Even if there is one instance where you are not able to prove the invariable relation, if there is any lack of correspondence, supposing the Hetu exists but the Sadhya does not exist, then there is lack of correspondence. Then you cannot, because you have to be very sure that no instance lacks correspondence with this kind of invariable relation. So Vyabhichara Abhava, there must be absence of Vyabhichara or lack of correspondence, Vyabhichara bhava drishtehe, and not only that, there should also be the Sahachara. Sahachara means the Samanadikaranya graha, or the coexistence of these two objects in the same substratum. Sahachara, the Sahachara means Samanadikaranya jnana, or coexistence of these two objects. That also is very much essential. Vyabhichara bhava drishtehe Sahacharasya darshanat. Now in the commentary, Dhuma Vanyoho Samanadikaranyam Nama, he just clarifies it. Dhuma Vanyoho, what is meant by Samanadikaranya? Dhuma Vanyoho Samanadikaranya means Ekadikarana Vrittitvam, means presence in the same substratum. So Ekadikarana Vrittitvam means, it is a concept we mentioned some 2-3 classes back. Ekadikarana Vrittitvam means to be present in the same substratum. Pot and cloth are present in or on the floor. Now what is the relation which the Nayayikas say? Pot and cloth. Although pot is elsewhere and cloth is elsewhere, but they have a common substratum called floor. So the relation between pot and cloth is Samanadikaranya Sambandha, that is presence in the same substratum. So that is what he means by saying Dhuma Vanyoho Samanadikaranyam Nama, the coexistence of fire and smoke in the same substratum. Nama Ekadikarana Vrittitvam means presence in the same substratum. And this is common for both. It is not the case that you speak of that Samanadikaranya is only in pot or in cloth. Ubayoho Avishishtam, that means both of them are related. Neither of the two can be said to have this relation. It is both of them have the same kind of relation. Tatapi, but even then, why do you go in one way only? That is Dhume Vanyadikarana Vrittitvam na kadachit vyabhicharati. That he makes it very clear. You see, there is Samanadikaranya relation. Smoke, you see, this he wants, this less pervasive and more pervasive aspect he wants to explain. Smoke and fire, if they are related to each other in the same, if they are related, if they are present in one and the same substratum, that means you can say Vanni Dhumayoho Samanadikaranyam, presence of fire and smoke in the same substratum, you can say. But even then, wherever there is smoke, there would be fire. So smoke does not lack correspondence with fire. But reverse is not true. Wherever there is smoke, you cannot say there is, wherever there is fire, you cannot say there is smoke. Because fire is there in Ayogolaka, glowing iron rod, there is no smoke. So that point he wants to say, Tatapi Dhume Vanyadikarana Vrittitvam. Dhume Vanyadikarana Vrittitvam means smoke, wherever fire exists. Dhume Vanyadikarana Vrittitvam means Vanni is Dhume Vanyadikarana Vrittitvam na kadachit vyabhicharati means to be present in the substratum where fire is present. That is, wherever smoke is present, fire will be there. But it is not the case that wherever fire exists, Dhuma would exist, is not the case. Dhumadhikarane Vanyabhavasya Kopya Drishtehe, that's what he says. Dhumadhikarane, wherever there is smoke, you can never have absence of fire. Yadyapi Vannau Dhuma Samanadikaranyam Drishtam, that he clarifies. Yadyapi Vannau Dhuma Samanadikaranyam Drishtam, Tatapi Ayogolake na, in a glowing iron rod, there is no smoke. Ityataha Vanni Sattva Vyabhicharaha Ityataha. So what do you conclude from this? You conclude that it is only Dhuma that is the Vyapya Padartha or less pervasive, and Vanni is more pervasive. In other words, wherever there is Dhuma, there is fire. And fire exists independent of smoke also. And in this sense, fire is said to be more pervasive or Vyapaka, and smoke is said to be less pervasive and occupying less number of places. And then tatavida, so the first line speaks of where to construct the definition of vyapti. Where will you construe this definition? Where will you apply this definition of vyapti? So the vyapti definition, in all cases, the lakshana of vyapti should be applied or construed only within the hetu, which is the vyaptyashraya or the substratum of vyapti. Now, how do you comprehend the invariable relation of two factors? That he gives in the next sentence, vyabhichara drishtehe. So tatavida vyapti avadharanam kena pramanena. Through what? By what means do you comprehend the invariable relation? Ityakankszayam aha vyabhichara abhava drishtehe sahacharasya darshanat. So he gives the statement vyabhichara abhava jnana sahakrita sahachara jnanam vyapti grahakam. What are the means of comprehending vyapti? Vyabhichara abhava and sahachara. There are two criteria for comprehending. How do you come to the conclusion that smoke is invariably related to fire? By arriving at vyabhichara jnana abhava. That means you should possess the knowledge that wherever there is smoke, or you should have the knowledge that in none of the instances where smoke is present, there is no existence of fire. It should not be the case. That means wherever there is smoke, you should have comprehended smoke as being related to fire in all the instances. So there should not be any vyabhichara jnana. In other words, there must be absence of vyabhichara jnana. And the second one is sahachara graha. Sahachara graha means you must have comprehended the invariable relation, this invariable relation, that is samanadi. Sahachara means sahacharata iti sahacharau, tayoho sahacharata iti sahacharau, tayoho bhavaha sahacharyam nama samanadikaranyam. So how do you come to the conclusion that sahacharyam means samanadikaranyam? Means those objects which coexist in a substratum. Sahacharata iti sahacharau, which means dhuma and vanni are sahacharau. So to be present in the common substratum, this constitutes sahacharya or samanadikaranya between them. Is it clear? So vyabhichara abhava jnana sahakrita sahachara jnanam vyaptigrahakam. So this kind of knowledge, that is, the hetu does not lack correspondence with the sadhya. This is one knowledge. And also that the hetu and the sadhya coexist in the same substratum. So these two, one must have in order to, these two kinds of knowledge one must have in order to ascertain the invariable relation of smoke to fire. That is what it is said, vyabhichara abhava jnana sahakrita sahachara jnanam vyapti grahakam, means of comprehending vyapti. Vyabhichara abhava jnanam cha kvachit tarkat kvachit bhuyo darshanat. And how do you arrive at this vyabhichara jnana abhava? He says kvachit bhuyo darshanat. You keep repeatedly by seeing smoke and fire together in many places, bhuyo darshana, or otherwise kvachit tarkat. Kvachit tarkat means there is a hypothetical statement. We will come across this when we do ayatartha anubhava. Somebody puts a question, a person who is not conversant with the invariable relation of smoke to fire. If a person says, on seeing smoke in the mountain, there is fire in the mountain, immediately he puts why? Why means because he is not aware of the vyapti between smoke and fire. So suppose I say, or somebody says there is fire in the mountain. on seeing smoke. Then I put the question, why should there be fire? Then he says, because there is smoke. So Parvato Vanniman is the first statement. Hoy means, what is the answer provided? Because there is smoke. Then because I am not conversant this Vyapti, I ask, let there be smoke, should there be fire? So, Heturastu Sadhyam Mastu. Let there be smoke, should there be fire at all? Then, in order to convince me of the fact that if there exists smoke, there should be fire, the other person makes use of a hypothetical argument. If there be no fire, then there would not be smoke. If I am intelligent enough to comprehend the statement, because smoke exists, then I would also conclude there exists fire. So you should not keep on asking, okay, then if there be no fire, then there will be smoke. Then what is here? This is what happens in the case of the Panchavaya Vakyas, or the 5 limbs of inference. So this is a kind of statement, hypothetical statement, which is made use of in order to make the other person understand the invariable relation of smoke to fire. So that is what he says, and this happens only in the case of Parartha Anumana. So there are 2 kinds of making the person understand by using the 5 limbs of inference, which we are going to read little later. Pratigna, Hetu, Udaharana, Upanaya, Nigamana. When I am sure of the invariable relation of smoke to fire, on seeing smoke in the mountain, I will come to the conclusion that mountain is fiery on my own accord. But when I am not sure, the other person has to instruct me. Then he makes use of the 5 members of syllogism, or the 5 limbs of inference, in order to make the other person understand. So collectively, he doesn't want to go into whether it is Pararthanumana or Swarthanumana. He just merely mentions Vebhichara Jnana Abhava Sahakrita Sahachara Jnanasya Vebhichara Abhava Jnanam cha Kochit Tarkat Kochit Bhuyo Darshanat iti Mantavyam. So Dhume Vanya Vinabhava Sambandho hi Avadharyate. The first line speaks of the application of the definition in the Hetu, and the second line speaks of Vebhichara Abhava Drishtehe Sahacharasya Darshanat, speaks of as to how to comprehend the Vyapti, or the invariable relation between the 2. And then we go to the next verse, Ukta Lakshana Lakshita Vyaptim Vibhajate, and the Vyapti which has been explained so far, which has been defined so far, that is we have done the spade work earlier, so I think we can move a little faster. Anvaya Vyatirekaabhyam Sahacharo Dvividaha Mataha. This kind of Samanadikaranya, or coexistence in the same substratum, that is Vyapti means coexistence in the same substratum. Such a kind of coexistence can be had between 2 positive entities, which we give the name as, can any one of you say? Anvaya Vyapti. And between 2 negative instances, it is Vyatireka Vyapti. So that is what he classifies. Anvaya Vyatirekaabhyam Sahacharaha. Sahachara means Samanadikaranya. Dvidhamataha. It is classified into 2. Now what is Anvaya Vyapti? Can we all say without looking into the text? What is Anvaya Vyapti? I am not able to hear. Some murmuring sound is there, that's all. Hetu Sadhyayoho Vyaptihi Anvaya Vyaptihi. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. So Hetu Sadhyayoho, that is the definition of Anvaya Vyapti. Hetu Sadhyayoho Vyaptihi. That is, the Hetu should be uttered first, and then the Sadhya. That is Anvaya Vyapti. So Anvaya Vyatireka Yatra Dhumaha Tatra Vannirasti. And yesterday we also made a mention of the illustrative example. Yatra Dhumaha. What is that in Drishtanta called? Yatra Dhumaha Tatra Vannihi. And you provide an illustrator. Yata Mahanasaha. What is that called? Sapaksha. And Sapaksha is defined as Nischita Sadhyavan, where you are certain about the presence of the Sadhya. That is what he says, Yatra Dhumaha, Tatra Vannirasti, Yadvan Mahanase. Hetoho, in the commentary I am reading, Hetoho Sadhyadikarana Vrittitvam Anvaya Sahacharaha. See, Yatra Dhumaha, Tatra Vannihi is a Bala Pata, you know. See, you must, because it is, the Nayayikas do not feel, no, they are somewhat, every day there must be some kind of injury. So they say, Yatra Dhumaha, that means you must break your head to understand something. Otherwise, the Nayayikas do not feel happy. So he gives in a Nyaya terminology, Hetoho Sadhyadikarana, it is nothing, just you have to draw a diagram. Hetoho Sadhyadikarana Vrittitva means the presence of the Hetu in the Sadhyadikarana. Sadhyadikarana is Mahanasa or kitchen. And there the Hetu exists. Now let me call this A, this is B. So what constitutes Vyapti of B along with Sadhya means the presence of A in the substratum C. The A exists in C, wherein B also exists. So Hetoho, he says, Hetoho Sadhyadikarana Vrittitvam. It should be the other way. The Hetu, the Hetu exists in the Sadhyadikarana. That is the presence of the Hetu in the substratum of the Sadhya. Remember what we did yesterday? This is the mere definition of Anvaya Vyapti to understand. But we prefixed something to this Sadhya. It is, even if it is given as Sadhyadikarana Vrittitva, you can also consider Ayogolaka or the glowing iron rod. So the Sadhya should be prefixed with Hetu Vyapaka Sadhya. But for the purposes of understanding the Anvaya Vyapti between the Hetu and the Sadhya, he says, Hetoho Sadhyadikarana Vrittitvam Anvaya Sahacharaha means the presence of two positive entities in the same substratum means that they are Sadhyadikarana Vrittitvam, that is Anvaya Sahachara. And then what constitutes Vyatireka Vyapti? What is the definition of Vyatireka Vyapti we have given? Sadhya Bhava Hetva Bhavayoho. That is the coexistence of Sadhya Bhava and Hetva Bhava. Sadhya Bhava Hetva Bhavayoho Vyaptihi Vyatireka Vyaptihi. See the academic honesty of the Nayayikas. Until he himself anticipates such a question, none of us would have even thought of it. Now we are speaking of Vyapti for the Hetu, that is Dhuma. And as the name implies, the Anvaya Vyapti means it is the Vyapti between two positive entities, so no doubt arises there. And Vyatireka Vyapti, also the word Vyatireka means Abhava. So naturally we speak of the relation between two negative entities, that is one Sadhya Bhava and another Hetva Bhava. But later on we are going to, in another 2-3 verses later on, we are going to classify these kinds of Hetus into three types, Sad Hetus, into three types. Because we have been speaking of Dhuma as a Hetu, there are three types of Hetus which we are going to say Anvaya Vyatireki. There are some Hetus which have both negative and positive relations. Such kinds of Hetus are designated Anvaya Vyatireki. Means Anvayena Vyatirekena cha Vyaptimat Anvaya Vyatireki. But there are some Sad Hetus which could satisfy only Anvaya Vyapti. They are called Kevala Anvayi. And there are certain other types of Hetus which could satisfy only Kevala Vyatireka type of Anumana. So they are called Kevala Vyatireki. Now let us for the time being forget about Kevala Anvayi and Kevala Vyatireki. Now that we have called this Hetu Dhuma, or we have classified this under Anvaya Vyatireki type, and we have also explained Hetu Sadhyayoho Vyaptihi and Sadhya Bhava Hetva Bhavayoho Vyaptihi Yatra Vanya Bhavaha Tatra Dhuma Bhava, where there is absence of fire, Tatra Dhuma Bhavaha. Now the Naiyayikas themselves raise a pertinent objection. Now this is with regard to the smoke, Yatra Dhumaha Tatra Vanhi, it is okay. But in the second instance, we are speaking of Vyapti between two abhavas, which means wherever there is absence of fire, there is absence of smoke. So the second instance confirms to the coexistence or the invariable relation between two absences, not between two positive entities. So I can understand saying that Hetu or the smoke is possessed of Anvaya Vyapti, it is understood. But in the second instance, you are speaking of the Vyapti between two negative instances, which means wherever there is absence of fire, there is absence of smoke. So, but this does not sanction us to conclude that Dhuma is a Vyatireka Vyaptiman. It is because you are speaking of the Vyapti between Vanya Bhava and Dhuma Bhava, not with the Dhuma, isn't it? In the first instance, wherever there is smoke, there is fire. So this is between two positive entities. But in the second case, it is between two negative entities. So the Vyapti or the invariable relation which refers to two negative entities, how can you drag this Vyapti to Dhuma or smoke and come to the conclusion that Dhuma is a Vyatireka Vyaptiman? You understand? Because the Vyapti you speak of between two negative instances. So you say that Dhuma Bhava is possessed of Vanya Bhava Vyapti. Taken, well taken. But how do you conclude that Dhuma is a Vyatireka Vyaptiman? Because you may say Vyatireka means only between above, all that is okay. But the Naiyayikas say Anvaya Vyatireki Hetuhu Dhumaha. Dhuma is Anvaya Vyatireka Vyaptiman. So, do you understand the problem, or am I making myself clear? When you speak of Anvaya Vyapti between two instances, that is Vanni and Dhuma, wherever there is smoke, there is fire. The Dhuma is possessed of the Vyapti with the Sadhya. But in the second case where you speak of Sadhya Bhava and Hetva Bhava, the Vyapti is between Sadhya Bhava and Hetva Bhava, which means the Hetva Bhava has got the Vyapti with the Sadhya Bhava, but not the Hetu. So on this ground, how do you conclude that Dhuma is Anvaya Vyatireki Hetu? You are speaking Vyapti between two negative instances, and you say that Dhuma is possessed of Vyatireka Vyapti. It cannot be understood. That is what he says. Sadhya Bhava Vyapaka Bhava Pratyogitvam Vyatireka Sagacharaha. Why should he introduce this term? Sadhya Bhava Hetva Bhavayoho Vyaptihi is Vyatireka Vyapti. Now you have to just remember what we did when we speak of Paramarsha Vyapya Dhumaman Parvataha. Vanni Vyapya Dhumaman Ayam Parvataha. I made a reference to a kind of Paramarsha called Vyatireka Paramarsha. Suppose somebody recollects only Vyatireka Vyapti immediately after Pakshadharmata Jnana. Somebody recollects only this type of Vyapti means. Then also one must be able to arrive at the conclusion Parvato Vanniman. So for that the Naiyayikas have formed a device, that is Yatra Yatra Vanya Bhavaha, that is Vanya Bhava is Sadhya Bhava. Now the Sadhya Bhava is Vyapya. Kindly recall what we did the other day. Sadhya Bhava and Sadhya Bhava Vyapya. I'm sorry. Sadhya Bhava is Vyapya. Sadhya Bhava Vyapakaha Kaha Hetva Bhavaha. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with this, whenever the Nayayikas speak of an abhava or absence, it is a relative term. Abhava means you cannot utter this word in a vacuum, because abhava means immediately of what? That is the question. So abhava must always relate to a positive entity, which in Sanskrit you call as pratiyogi. Means whenever you speak of the absence of something, what answers the question of what, that will become the pratiyogi. For example, absence of pot means what is the pratiyogi for this absence? Pot is the pratiyogi. So yasya abhavaha saha pratiyogi, that is the niyama. For whichever you postulate the absence, that will become the pratiyogi. Because abhava is always a relative term. You have to refer to the absence of something. So, in the present case, when you speak of the Vyatireka Vyapti, in Vyatireka Vyapti, Sadhya Bhava is Vyapya Padartha and Hetva Bhava is Vyapaka. So, the Hetva Bhava is Vyapaka to the Sadhya Bhava. So, Sadhya Bhava Vyapaka Hetva Bhava. This is what we have arrived at in the Vyatireka Vyapti. Now, this Vyatireka Vyapti, the Hetu should be considered as possessing this Vyatireka Vyapti. Otherwise, you cannot call Duma as Vyatireka Vyapti man. So, now how do you drag this Vyatireka Vyapti to the Hetu? Or how do you construe this? Because earlier we have started saying that always the Vyapti definition should be construed with the Hetu. Now the Hetu has been shown as one possessing Anvaya Vyapti, and it is also possessed of Vyatireka Vyapti, we should say. Otherwise, you cannot characterize the Hetu, that is Duma, as Anvaya Vyatireki Hetu. That is a kind of Sad Hetu. Those Hetus which conform to both Anvaya type of Vyapti as well as Vyatireka type of Vyapti. Now in all such cases where you speak of Anvaya Vyatireki Hetus, this is the method that you have to follow. That is the coexistence of Sadhya Bhava and Hetva Bhava. Sadhya Bhava Vyapaka Hetva Bhava means yatra yatra Vanya Bhavaha tatra Duma Bhavaha, Vanya Bhava Vyapaka Duma Bhavaha. Now for this Duma Bhava, let us go by this niyama. What is the pratiyogi for Duma Bhava? Because what is the niyama? Yasya abhavaha saha pratiyogi. So absence of pot means pot is the pratiyogi. So here Duma Bhava pratiyogi is Duma. So in order to bring this Vyapti, Vyatireka Vyapti, into or construe this definition in the case of Duma, you add one more phrase, Duma Bhava Pratiyogi Dumaha. So now this means this Vyatireka Vyapti has been applied in the case of Duma. So Duma is now can be called as Vyatireki too. Previously we did not provide this link, namely this Pratiyogi. Now in order to say wherever there is Sadhya Vyapyaha Hetuhu is Anvaya Vyapti, and to call Duma as Vyatireki Hetu, what would you say is Sadhya Bhava Vyapaka Hetva Bhava Pratiyogi Hetuhu, which means in all types of Anvaya Vyatireki Hetus, you have to construe this Vyatireka Vyapti in the case of the Hetu. Otherwise, you cannot characterize that Hetu as Anvaya Vyatireki Hetu. That is what is given in the text. Sadhya Bhava Vyapaka Bhava Pratiyogitvam. Sadhya Bhava Vyapaka Bhava is Hetva Bhava. So Hetva Bhava Pratiyogi is Hetu. That is called Vyatireka Sahachara, means Vyatireka Vyapti, Vyatireka Samanadikaranyam. Iti Dvaividyam Upapadyate Ityabhipretya Aha Dvidha Mataha Iti. Dvidha Mataha means it has been classified into two types. Samkshiptam Sahachara Dvayam Upapadayati Yatra Ityadina. Yatra Dumaha Tatra Vannihi Asti Yadvan Mahanase. That is the form of Anvaya Vyapti. Anvaya Drishtanta is Yadvaditi. What do you mean by the word Yadvad? Yadvan Mahanase stands for the Anvaya Drishtanta, which is technically known as Sapaksha. So Yadvan Mahanase. Then Vitireka Drishtantamaha, he goes on to explain Vitireka Vyapti. Vannir na vidyate, where there is no fire or where there is the absence of fire. Vannir na vidyate, yatra dhumaha tatra yatra vannir na vidyate, tatra dhumaha na vidyate. Where there is absence of fire, there is absence of smoke. Yata hrade, as in a deep lake. Parvatadau na tata, but it is not the case with mountain. Why? Dhuma darshanat, because you see the smoke itself in the mountain. Yata hradaha iti. That commentary is little easy. Yasmat vannivyapya dhumavan parvataha tasmat mahanasavat vanniman ityevam anvayi upasamharaha. So you are seeing the mountain possessing smoke and you have come to the conclusion vannivyapya dhumavan. What is vannivyapya dhumavan parvataha? It is paramarsha. Vannivyapya dhumavan parvataha is the form of paramarsha, isn't it? That is what we arrived at yesterday. Tasmat mahanasavat vanniman. So just because it is possessed of dhuma, which is vyapya to vanni, like what? Tasmat. In the same way, mahanasavat vanniman. Because mahanasa, which is possessed of dhuma, is possessed of fire. In the same way, the mountain which is possessed of smoke also is possessed of fire. This is the conclusion. What is the conclusion you have arrived at upasamhara? What is the conclusion? Yasmat, for the reason that mountain is possessed of smoke which is invariably related to fire, it is also possessed of fire just as mahanasa. Yata vanyabhava vyapaka dhuma bhavavan hradaha. And he also gives the Vitireka Vyapti. Vanyabhava Vyapaka Dhuma Bhavavan Hradaha. The deep lake is possessed of both Vanyabhava and Dhuma Bhava. Natata. The mountain is not so. It is not possessed of Dhuma Bhava. You see, he wants to conclude that the mountain has fire, as the mountain has smoke as well as fire. Now he wants to explain both ways of understanding. What is the first way of understanding? This mountain is possessing smoke. And how is that smoke? Vannivyapya dhumavan parvataha. So he says, Yasmat, for the reason that the mountain is possessed of smoke, which is invariably related to fire. So what is your conclusion? Tasmat. For the, because so what happens? Mahanasavat, just as the kitchen which is possessed of smoke is possessed of fire, this mountain which is possessed of smoke also is possessed of fire. Vanniman ityanvayi upasamhara. Now what will be the negative type of vyapti? How will you arrive at the conclusion? Vanyabhava vyapaka dhuma bhavavan hradaha. What is possessed of these two abhavas? It is the deep lake. Where is Vanyabhava and Dhuma Bhava present? It is in a deep lake. That is the Vitireka Vyapti. So Vanyabhava Vyapaka Dhuma Bhavavan Hradaha. Isn't it? But the mountain in front of you is not possessed of the absence of smoke. Isn't it? Natata Dhuma Bhavavan. This is not possessed of absence of smoke. Kintu Dhumavan eva parvataha. On the other hand, the mountain in front of you is possessed of smoke, not absence of smoke, as in a deep lake. Tasmat natata vanyabhavavan. So, if there had been absence of smoke in the mountain, there would have been absence of fire too. But the mountain in front of me is possessed of smoke. So, tasmat natata vanyabhavavan. Just as the lake which does not possess smoke is possessed of vanyabhava or absence of fire. In the same way here, since there is no absence of smoke, there is no absence of fire, and so two negatives will make one positive. What exactly is present is there is smoke and there is fire. So this is This is the case where somebody recollects or somebody tries to explain the presence of smoke and explain the presence of fire on the basis of, not only on the basis of smoke, between or recollecting the Vyatireka Vyapti, Tasmat Natata Vanyabhavavan Kintu Vannimaneva Parvataha iti Vyatirekyupasamharaha. Somebody wants to strain one's common sense too much, then one will resort to the Vyatireka Vyapti. So normally one will always recollect Anvaya Vyapti, and the Paramarsha also will be of Vannivyapya Dhumavan Ayam Parvataha. So that is the type of Paramarsha. And then Nanu Vyapti, we go to the next verse. Nanu Vyapya Darshanat Vyapaka Siddhihi Anumana Palam. What is the result of Anumiti? What is the result? Anumana Palam means Anumana is the Karana and Anumiti is the result. So Anumana Palam, what do you arrive at the Anumiti? Anumiti is that which arises from Anumana. So Anumana Palam Anumitau Kim Siddhyati. Anumana Palam is Vyapya Darshanat, means on seeing smoke, which is Vyapya. Smoke is Vyapya, isn't it? Vyapya Darshanat Vyapaka Siddhihi. The Sadhya is established. So Sadhya is Vyapaka. So in all cases what happens? Vyapya Darshanat. On seeing the Vyapya Padartha, Vyapya Darshanat Vyapaka Siddhihi. So what is concluded or what is arrived at, what is established is Vyapaka or Sadhya. So Vyapaka and Sadhya, these two are synonyms. Vyapya, Hetuhu, Lingam, all these are synonyms. So Vyapya Darshanat Vyapaka Siddhihi Anumana Palam. Vanyabhava Vyapakaha Dhuma Bhavaha. That is Vyatireka Vyapti. Vanyabhava Vyapakaha Dhuma Bhavaha. Tena, that we have already explained. Tena Vanyabhavena Dhuma Bhavaha Siddhyatu. So if you are speaking of Vanyabhava and Dhuma Bhava Vyapti, then by means of Vanyabhava, you establish the presence of Dhuma Bhava. On that ground, how do you call Dhuma as Vyatireki Hetu? That's what he asks. Tena Vanyabhavena Dhuma Bhavaha Siddhyatu. Dhumat Vanni Siddhihi Katamityah. See, by resorting to the Vyatireka Vyapti, this is exactly or this is precisely the point which the Advaitins attacked the Nayayikas. Because Kevala Vyatireka Anumana cannot at all be admitted by the Advaitins. I will just tell that. So Kevala Vyatireka Anumana, because Vanni, Dhuma is the Hetu, Dhumena Hetuna, one is Siddhyati. Thus this we can admit. But speaking of a Vyatireka Vyapti between two negative instances, and you come to it is like Shirovishta Pranayama. Pranayama one does like this, not like this, So, Dhuma, you speak of Vyatireka Vyapti between two negative instances, and you come to the conclusion Dhuma one is Siddhyati. Now, what will be the case in all Kevala Vyatireki instances? The Advaitins are never prepared to admit Kevala Vyatireka Anumana. So, they admit only one type of Hetu, because Anvaya Vyatireka also involves reference to Vyatireka. So, Kevala Anvayi is a technical term given by the Nayayikas, which is eternal. So, Advaitins will not admit Kevala Anvayi Padartha also. So, what is left over for the Advaitin is only Anvayi Rupam Ekameva Lingam. Anvayi Rupam Ekameva Lingam. Now, this Kevala Vyatireka Anumana, all cases of Kevala Vyatireka Anumana, if you analyze, let me give an example which Shastriya also referred yesterday. Pino Devadattaha Divana Bhumte. Devadattaha Ratri Bhojanavan. Devadatta eats at night. Why? Diva Abunjanatve Sati Pinatvat. Because he is not known to take food along with me during daytime. But he appears to be fat. So the only possibility would be that he must be taking food at night without my knowledge. So Devadattaha Ratri Bhojanavan Diva abunjanatve sati peenatvat. This is the Kevala Vyatirik. All cases of Kevala Vyatirik Anumana, it is Pakshamatra Vritti Hetu. The Hetu will be present only in the Paksha. You cannot have any verification in any other instance. Instance means in Vyatireka Vyapti you can say. So now the Advaitins do not admit such a kind of Vyapti at all. You speak of absence between two entities and you try to conclude that because the Hetu is present here and it is Prithvi Itarebhyo Vidyate Gandhavatvat is another instance. You speak of Vyapti between Itarabheda Abhava and Gandhavatva Abhava and then conclude Gandhavatvena Hetuna Itarabhedaha Prithivyam Vartate. So this kind of Vyapti is not admissible. We cannot admit such a kind of Vyapti at all. So in order to account for whatever that is arrived at through Kevala Vyatirekya Anumana, for that reason we will go to the extent of admitting postulate a separate pramana called Arthapatti, but we will not on any account admit Kevala Vyatireki. So this is a very serious matter with the Advaitins, but the Naiyayikas, because they are not, whatever appeals to Yukti for them, they will rest contented. So he says, Tena Vanyabhavena Duma Bhavaha Siddhyatu Dumat Vanni Siddhihi Katam. This is the question put by the Advaitins. Dumat Vanni Siddhihi Katam Ityataha Vyatireka Mukenapi Sadhyatehi Shiki Budaihi. The answer given by the Naiyayikas, Vyatireka Mukenapi, even by resorting to Vyatireka Vyapti, Sadhyatehi Shiki, Vanni it is established or it is established Sadhyatehi Shiki Budaihi. Wise men try to ascertain the presence of Sadhya, namely Vanni, even by resorting to Vyatireka Vyapti. So, Anvaya Vyatirekakyam Anumanam Udahritam. So, Anumana is of two types as Anvaya Vyapti and Vyatireka Vyapti. That is what he gives in the commentary also. Asamartha Pravritti Janaka Anumitistu Bhava Vishayatvadina Vanya Bhava Vyapaka Duma Bhava Jnanasya Vanyartha Pravritti Janakatva Bhavatvena Vanni Jnanasya Tatatvena Vannerev Abhipsitatvat Vyatireka Mukena Api. Vyatireka Mukena Api means even by resorting to Vyatireka Vyapti, Dumasya Vyapyatva Siddhehe. Duma can be considered or concluded as the Vyapya Padartha even by resorting. How have we concluded? We have earlier explained. Vanya Bhava Vyapaki Bhuta Duma Bhava Pratiyogi Dumaha means, that means Duma is also possessed of Vyatireka Vyapti. That we have concluded. Vanni Siddhihi Anumana Palam Dumasya Vyapyatva Siddhehe Vanni Siddhihi Anumana Palam Bhavishyati iti Panditaihi Uktam Ityartaha. Ukta Vyapti Dvaya Gatitam Anumana Dvayam Swartam Upasamharati. Vyapti Dvaya Gatitam means Anvaya Vyapti and Vyatireka Vyapti. These two are helpful in coming to the conclusion or in arriving at the inferential cognition for one's own self, that is Swarthanumana. Swarthanumiti Gatitam Anumana Dvayam Swartam Upasamharati Anvaya Vyatirekakyam iti. And then Atha Parattanumana Prakaramaha. Now what is Parattanumana? I will just briefly make a mention of it before we do that shloka as it is. Now the person who is not conversant with the Vyapti or the invariable relation between the two, as we explained earlier, the first statement is Parvato Vanniman, mountain has fire. Parvato Vanniman, this is a statement in Pratignya Vakya, it is called preposition. That is, these are the five members of syllogism. And these are collectively known as Nyaya Avayava. Each one of these are all called Avayavas and they are collectively known as Nyaya or Panchavayava Vakya. Each one of these is an Avayava. The first one is mountain has fire or Parvato Vanniman. This is in order to make the other person understand. A person who just merely sees the smoke in the mountain, who is not able to come to the conclusion of the existence of fire. For such a person, all these instructions are made. Mountain has fire, this is the proposition. The second one is Parvato Vanniman Dhumat, because it has smoke. Because it has smoke, this is the Hetu Vakya, or the reason, or the ground. The third one is, now let there be smoke, let there not be fire. If somebody puts a question, to convince him, what do we say? We make use of a statement consisting of the illustrative example. Udaharana Vakya. Udaharana Vakya means it is a statement consisting of the illustrative example. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire, as in the kitchen. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire is the Vyapti. And this Udaharana Vakya means it is a statement which also provides you the illustrative example, as in the kitchen. So this is called Pratignya Udaharana, Pratignya Hetu. This is Udaharana Vakya. And then the fourth one is Pratignya Hetu Udaharana, then Upanaya. Upanaya means Tatachayam. So again, he impresses, or he Tatachayam means this mountain has smoke. Dhumavan Parvataha. And then the last statement, Tata Tasmat means Tasmat Tata. That is called Nigamana. Nigamana Vakya, it's a technical term. Upanaya Vakya, Nigamana Vakya is Tasmat. Tasmat means, how have you concluded the earlier statement? Tatachayam, this mountain has smoke. So, Tasmat means Dhumavatvat. Because it has smoke, Tata. Tasmat, Tata means Dhumavatvat Parvato Vanniman. Now, an important point I would like to mention here is, these are the 5-membered syllogism or Panchavayava Vakyas, or the limbs of inference, which is made use of by somebody to instruct the other person to understand the invariable relation of smoke to fire. So, now this is called Pararthanumana. That is what is given. Pararthanumanam yatra param prati bodayitum. Panchavayavakyam prayunkte tatu pararthanumanam. This is Tarka Sangraha. Panchavayavakyam prayunkte tatu pararthanumanam. So it would appear that these 5-membered syllogism, they are themselves called pararthanumanam because they are the aids to the understanding of Parvato Vanniman. But one has to very carefully look into the text of Tarka Sangraha. After he concludes everything, Pararthanumana and Swarthanumana, there is a sentence in Tarka Sangraha, Tasmat Swarthanumiti Pararthanimityoho Linga Paramarsha Karanam. It's a very, very significant statement, because as you read this Pararthanumana 5-membered syllogism, it would appear Tatu Pararthanumanam when he says Anumiti Karanam is Anumana. So all these are Pararthanumana. The 5-membered syllogism, they help us in the understanding of this Vyapti, all these. So it is the Panchavaya Vakyas themselves that are termed Pararthanumana. It is not the case. Because if somebody instructs you all these 5 statements, somebody instructs me and I arrive at the conclusion, means when somebody says Dhumavatvat Parvato Vanniman, the other person tells me, and I have the cognition Parvato Vanniman, this is not Anumiti. It is only Shabda Jnana. When somebody instructs you, It's only verbal cognition. On hearing the sentences, you have only verbal cognition. So how can you call it as parartha anumiti? Anumiti is something which you have to infer for yourself. Anumiti is a kind of cognition which should arise in yourself through the relation of samvaya. Otherwise, you cannot call it as inference, because inference should arise only from paramarsha, isn't it? So, what you have to understand is, these 5-membered syllogism or limbs of inference, these serve as aids in the understanding of the invariable relation of smoke to fire. So, when somebody instructs you all these 5 members, then the hearer, he is able to arrive at the conclusion that wherever there is smoke, there is fire. So, and then the usual steps that are taking place, he is seeing smoke for himself. So, these 5 members help him in the understanding of the invariable relation of smoke to fire. He never jumps into the conclusion on hearing this statement, oh, there is Parvato Vanniman. If he has such a knowledge, he may have such a knowledge, but you cannot call it as inferential cognition or anumiti. It is only Shabda Jnana. It is, so this is Shabda Jnana. From Shabda there arises only Shabda Jnana. On the other hand, if you feel that he arrives at Parartha Anumiti, then that means from such a kind of causal apparatus, he has understood. This has served as an aid for him to understand the invariable relation of smoke to fire. So, from that there arises paramarsha in his self, Vannivyapya Dhumavan Ayam Parvataha, and then there arises Anumiti as Parvato Vanniman. So the point that is of importance here is, now how does this Parartha Anumiti arise in his case? In my case, since I have already known that the relation between smoke and fire, I don't depend on anybody else for instruction. Whereas in his case, what has happened is, he is not aware of this. So he needs somebody to instruct all this. Now why then Annambhatta has stated Tatu Parartha Anumanam? Yet Panchavakyam Prayukte Tatu Pararthanam means that is only Aupacharika or metaphorically it is used. So you should not take the face value of it. Otherwise there will be contradiction or serious conflict with his own statement. Tasmat Swarthanamiti Pararthanamittyoho Linga Paramarshe Eva Karanam. So somebody puts you the question, there he says Pararthanama is Panchavakya, and later on he says Linga Paramarshe Eva Karanam. How will you reconcile with this apparent contradiction? Because in one place he says Linga Paramarsha, in both cases of Paramarsha, Anumiti. So we have to conclude that these 5-membered syllogism, these serve as an aid in the understanding of this Vyapti between Vanni and Dhuma. So the person comes to the conclusion, where he hears from the other, he comes to the conclusion, and therefrom he has his own, all this process go, his own kind of paramarsha, Vannivyapya Dhumavan Ayam Parvata. Then there arises Anumiti in him, that is Parartha Anumiti. So that is what is explained in the next verse, that we will see in the next class.